Let's look at some Gallup polling information here. One study was in politics as of today. Do you consider yourself a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent? This was in October, this October, from the 1st to the 12th. 31% of Americans polled said Republican, 41% said independent, and Democrat was 28%. So obviously independents there's a lot more independents than those who would identify themselves with one of the two political parties, but a larger amount, by about 3%, were willing to say that they were Republican, and then obviously the 28% were Democrat. However, when we look at, there was another study, as of today, do you lean more to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? This was asked of independents. Now, this is really interesting. In September of this year, 45% said that they were Republican or Republican-leaning of independents. 49% said that they were leaning Democratic, towards the Democratic Party. However, this month, in October, 49% were leaning towards the Republican Party, and 42% were leaning towards the Democratic Party. So that's quite a swing there towards the Republican Party in this research from Gallup polling. Another report from Gallup, 2024 election environment favorable to the GOP, party affiliation, GOP issue advantages, and economic pessimism among key factors. Now, this was really interesting. They have a key measures of the 2024 presidential election environment chart. And on the chart, they list several different measures that they're using to judge people's ratings of the candidates and the parties that they're voting for. Every single measure here, except for two, according to this article, lean towards Republican. And the two that don't, which is party favorable ratings, right, is neither. It's actually Republican Party 43%, Democratic Party 42%, and congressional job approval is 20% approval, which means 80% of American citizens disapprove of the way that Congress is conducting itself. And that obviously falls on neither party as well for party measure favor. But every other measure listed here, economic confidence, party identification and leading, party better able to handle most important problems, U.S. satisfaction, and so forth, all of these are leaning towards Republican. And so if we were to call the election or give a prediction based off of these three Gallup poll, what they have to say, we'd have to give it to the Republicans. Another Gallup poll article here, majority of Americans feel worse off than 4 years ago. This was an interesting, the economic confidence index remained negative at negative 26. This is as of September. 39% says yes, they are better off than 4 years ago. 52% says no, they're not better off. That's more than a majority of Americans. And 9% say that it is the same. They are the same as they were 4 years ago. The last Gallup article we're going to be looking at here, at 45%, Harris's approval rating is higher than Biden's. 39% of Americans approve of Biden's job as president, while 16% of Americans approve of Congress's performance. Vice President Kamala Harris has a 45% approval rating among U.S. adults. That's for being the vice president, not necessarily for a candidate of the president of the United States. All right, let's get to some